Etymotic Research, headquartered in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, invented the first noise-isolating earphones. But few people outside of enthusiasts know this. Despite Etymotic's many research publications and quickness on the uptake in the in-ear monitor game, they failed to penetrate international consumer markets due to not taking advantage of pivotal research in sound reproduction, inadequate global branding and marketing, an unwillingness to meet materialistic demands, and poor pricing strategies. It could be argued that as a private company, Etymotic Research sheltered itself from globalization. Etymotic's publications regarding binaural audio and the diffuse field target were instrumental. They led to the creation of the ER4B in 1991, but this is where the good news ends. Since most music is stereo, the diffuse field target does not apply. Etymotic decided to decrease the treble based on informal reasoning, starting at 2 kHz to -5 dB by 10 kHz. However, there was zero research to back up this adjustment. The founder of Etymotic Research, Mead Killian, wrote a blog post that treats the THX curve as a gospel of accuracy. However, Floyd Toole thoroughly debunked this by proving the THX curve's low quality, with its nonlinear direct sound in anything but a completely dead room and with a standard perforation cinema screen, and irrelevance outside of soundtracks and cinemas. Even for movies sold on DVDs and Blu-rays, the THX curve is not applicable since most consumers have flat direct sound speakers. In 2013, Sean Olive began testing the efficacy of previous consumer target curves for headphones and developed a new headphone target curve. Since there is no standardization in the music industry, reverse engineering neutrality through consumer preference and tightly controlled listening tests is the closest realization of accuracy. Etymotic style tuning was not voted as highly as Harman Target in these tests, mainly due to their lack of bass and upper treble. What went wrong? Etymotic Research was the only company with earphones with zero linear distortion up to 13 kHz, but they failed to sound the best. Etymotic could not achieve the highest rated sonic performance because they ignored the breakthroughs in sound reproduction and adhered to an outdated target curve they created in 1993. Before Lucid Audio Limited Liability Company purchased Etymotic, Etymotic was a private company. Without anyone to pressure Etymotic to create products, they did as they pleased. On their old website, they had a page dedicated to response accuracy. On it, they touted the subjects Floyd Toole and Sean Olive had already debunked in previous years. The website states, target curves on Etymotic Research graphs indicate 100% accuracy. The open-ear diffuse field response of the camera mannequin modified to compensate for the high-frequency boost added to high-quality recordings. This modification, approximately 5 dB at 10 kHz, is necessary to avoid earphones sounding too bright on commercial recordings. Firstly, even if standardization existed in music, 100% accuracy is impossible for an in-ear monitor based on the diffuse field target. It is an average of multiple head-related transfer functions. Secondly, there is no treble boost for commercial recording since this only applies to cinemas. Etymotic Research brought up Consumer Reports to support their claim of accuracy by stating, Consumer Reports reported that it was possible to predict listeners' loudspeaker ratings within 8% from a calculation based on 1/3 octave frequency response measurements converted to loudness in zones. The average error in loudness from a perfect system subtracted from 100% gives the accuracy score. In 2004, however, Sean Olive utterly debunked Consumer Reports' accuracy scores by showing a negative correlation between their scores and consumer preferences. Etymotic's marketing, where they attempted to be scientific, was preaching nonsense. If they created products that did the things the company claimed, maybe this approach would have worked. Despite Etymotic's shortcoming, they were still far ahead of most other in-ear monitor manufacturers in sound quality. For example, the Shure SE846, which initially retailed for over $1,000, grabbed consumers' attention despite its abysmal sound quality. Shure outperformed Etymotic in sales with the product many times the price by appealing to consumers' materialistic demands. While Etymotic's flagship in-ear monitor, the ER4S, contained a single balanced armature driver, the SE846 contained 4 balanced armature drivers. An utterly meaningless metric, driver count, appeals to the general consumer's mindset that more equals better. The reality is that most people do not know how to interpret a frequency response graph. In addition to the driver count, the Shure SE846 featured a transparent shell, allowing users to gaze at the beautiful internals and boast about it to their friends.
As you can tell, not your everyday earbud. These are not the earbuds included for free with your portable media player, phone, etc. These are a totally different beast, and that's what's beautiful about them. There's all kinds of engineering and design that goes into each one of these.
In contrast, the ER4S has an entirely flat and industrial design. The difference was that the Shure SE846 symbolized style and distinctiveness, while someone outside could not even tell what the ER4S was owing to its deep insertion design. Previously, all Etymotic research in-ear monitors were manufactured in the United States as a quality control symbol. However, Chinese in-ear monitors were able to match, if not surpass, the hand channel matching Etymotic research provided on their flagship in-ear monitors at a much lower cost. If Etymotic's claims of sonic accuracy were false, their products were unattractive, and equivalent channel matching was achievable at a much lower cost. There were few logical reasons to buy them at such high prices. Etymotic attempted to solve at most 2 out of these 3 issues with product releases, but without addressing all 3, they could not surpass the Chinese competition. For years, people demanded that Etymotic create a multi-driver in-ear monitor. In 2021, under Lucid Audio, Etymotic released the Evo with the bass boost, 3 balanced armature drivers, and a retail price of nearly $500. However, the average consumer had grown smarter by this time. With the abundance of frequency response measurements available in the community, it was clear that the Evo offered worse sound quality than its cheaper counterparts. When consumers realized Etymotic's more affordable offerings, the ER2SC and the ER2XR, outperformed the Evo at a fraction of the price, no one bought the Evo. To this day, the Evo has 10 reviews on Etymotic's website. While the ER2SC and ER2XR are reasonably priced, they did not solve the first 2 problems. In conclusion, Etymotic Research is a company that had tremendous potential but could not recognize what consumers desired. Sheltering themselves from globalization led to a lack of innovation, poor marketing, unappealing aesthetics, and incredulous pricing strategies. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, a comment, and possibly share it with your friends.